Welcome everyone to the 2023-2024 season of the Bowling Promotion Tour QubicaAMF Masters Series. This is the 5th of 14 matches we'll be bringing you as part of this Masters stepladder. In our match today, it's Gaetan Caru versus the number 11 qualifier Sofie Kaergaard Nielsen of Denmark. Gaetan will start us off on the left lane and goes Brooklyn. That ball definitely left of target. And you can see everyone raising their hands. Watch this ball definitely left of where he was aiming, and it crosses over, leaving just the 5-pin. And by tradition, if Gaetan somehow were to miss this 5-pin, he will owe everyone with their hands up a drink. So a little bit of extra pressure on the spare in addition to the TV lights. But he covers the 5-pin no problem, saving himself a substantial bar tab. So good shot there by Gaetan to kick things off. And now we will get our first look at Sofie Kaergaard Nielsen of Denmark. Monica Chaque Nielsen, no relation, of course, bowled very, very well earlier in this competition, defeating 3 opponents before falling to Caru. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But here is Sofie on the right lane. And she too has the purple hammer like Monica did. And let's see where she plays this gateway arch oil pattern. That's right around the track, about the same place Monica was and where Gaetan is, but unfortunately that ball hooks. We are in our 5th game now on this pattern, and that track is starting to get fairly beaten up, and you see the ball pick up before it even gets to the mid lane and goes through the beak. She'll have to make a move left for sure on that lane. Now Sofie moving over to the Crown Jewel plastic ball, a very famous piece of equipment back in the day, and goes after the 6-pin. No, just makes it a little bit left. Shake off those TV jitters, but making the spare is Sofie. We mentioned Sofie is in a math high school. It's a 3-year program, but she does get an extra year in that program because of her athletic status, and she's able to practice every day at her chosen sport, which is bowling. And let's see how she adapts to this left lane that is traditionally hooking a little bit more. We've seen a little bit more reaction on the left lane in the mid lane. And let's see if she moves her feet left here to adapt to this left lane. And pretty good shot over the track, right through the pocket, and there's a strike for Sofie. Good shot there. Sofie does get an 8-pin handicap by international rule. Let's see where this ball crosses. Right around 12 board, and it's out to about 8 or 7 and turns up through the pocket perfectly. And that's what we call a pocket strike. And good shot there by Sofie in the 2nd frame. Now here is Caru. You note his short backswing. He comes up and carries the 4-5, just nudges the 5 out and gets the 4 to go in the mixer strike to match Sofie's spare strike start. Now look at that 5-pin, just nudges its way out. And that ball kind of went through the break point. Wasn't quite turning through the pins, but it was enough to give him the strike. Gaetan with a bicep tear injury that he's been battling all through this competition. He has acupuncture and electrode sessions. He wears the sleeve to try to keep his arm warm, and of course he has limited his backswing, but he's made the most of it. And let's see his adjustment here. Of course, so now he moves left and goes into the oil and pitches it right. It's a bowler's worst nightmare, and it flies right through the pattern, goes right, and doesn't even think about recovering. So now Gaetan will have a quandary on his hands on that left lane. He had one go Brooklyn. Now he goes, moves his feet left, and he has one miss the head pin on the right. So now what do we do? Leaves the 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8 spare, converts it. Good shot there. And now still just down the 8-pin handicap that Sofie gets by international rule. So now let's see how Sofie adjusts to this right lane. As we mentioned, Monica Chaque Nielsen, all these bowlers have bowled an 18-game qualifier. The top 16 advanced to the stepladder finals. Monica Chaque Nielsen defeated 3 opponents, Gerald Duncan, Stanislaw Nodin, and Gwendol Joliffe, before falling to Caru in our last match. Monica just 15 years old, making a very nice showing for herself. And here is Sofie, gets that one way to the right, turned it up. Ooh, perfect strike. Great move there by Sofie. And she moves her feet to the left. And look at that nice deep arm swing, or nice deep knee bend, great arm swing, and perfect pocket strike there. Great adjustment. And for the double to give her the 18-pin lead through 3 frames. Again, we see the iconic purple hammer. Allows you to control the pocket, yet still has great motion through the pins, and really one of the most, I would say, game-changing balls in the last few years in our sport. Yeah, Sofie left lane. She was in the pocket last time, throws it out. Now this time she throws it out to what she thought was a good shot. It picks up in the mid lane and goes right through the beak. Once again, that left lane proving to be a little bit drier. That's over the 12 board, but I think she just got a little bit of a midful of it, and it picks up in the mid lane right through the beak for the 3-6-10. And now the no bargain here on this cross lane spare, taking that plastic ball, going at it. It's on the left. She chops the 3 straight back. A very common result on that spare shot. I know a lot of pros, when they leave that, just go for the 3-pin, somehow hit the 3-pin and try to make the spare. Unfortunately, that's what she did, and chopped it straight back. Now Caru with a chance to catch up here, and that's left, and rolls the 3-pin out. I get a sense that Caru might be his arm might be a little tired. After that last match, I'm sensing he might be having some arm issues, perhaps from that injury. He seems to be having a little more trouble controlling the ball, hitting his mark, getting the ball to the pocket. He's only hit the pocket once in 4 shots. And now shooting at the 9-pin, no problem there. So now we're actually down to a 2-pin match because of Sofie's open, even though she doubled. Cost her some count. And now let's see what Caru can do here, battling that injury and the reaction on this left lane. There's a pretty good shot, and it doesn't quite make the corner. Comes up light for the 2-4-5. And look at it just kind of go through. He's expecting it to slow down here and make the turn. Doesn't do it. Comes up for the 2-4-5 bucket combination. He switches over to a different ball. That's an RST X1 he's throwing there. And it will hook. And he does hook at the spare. It doesn't quite get there. And unfortunately leaves himself open in the 5th frame. And that's going to give the lead back to Sofie, as she's going to be now enjoying a 16-pin lead. I should say extended the lead back. Sofie never lost the lead, but she'll now have a 16-pin lead going in. And unfortunately, that ball just didn't make the turn through the oil over to convert the 2-4-5 split. Now Sofie in the 5th frame. Has those long arms, a nice flowing arm swing. And watch that beautiful pendulum, nice and loose, good shot. Gets it out to the dry, and no shrapnel on that shot. Beautiful stroke there by Sofie. And watch how this ball turns the corner, gets to the break point, just like we drew it up. Perfect shot. Other notables coming up in the stepladder, we'll see Jack Blythe, Halvar Hagen Nielsen, Kenny B.O., Jaime Gonzalez. And of course, we do have team and mixed doubles competition coming to you on this same YouTube channel. We are approaching 30,000 subscribers, so please like and subscribe. And if you have any interest at all in the 2024 bowling promotion tour around Paris, around France, please check out the bowling promotion website. And Sofie, another good-looking shot, crumbles the bucket, gets the double. Wow, she says, thank you very much for carrying. Watch this ball. It's nice, and it's a little fast, but it goes through the break point, comes up and gets the 7, the 10, the 4, the 5. It's everything to topple over to give her the double and to extend her lead even further. Now Caru, let's see if he can stop the bleeding here. It's like he switched balls and goes Brooklyn on that shot. I don't think it's the ball as much as the fact is Gaetan is having it looks like he's having trouble with his arm. Look how he's carrying the ball. He yanked that shot. Unfortunately, I think you've got some pain going on there in his forearm. I think he had a gutsy performance in his first game, and now it's coming home to roost. A torn bicep is no minor injury, and that is what he's battling here. Now he's actually moved to that RST X1 for his strike shot. And let's see how he does here. And once again, there's another ball left, and through the beak, Bidone just having trouble controlling the arc and path of the ball. And again, I think we're seeing the results of that injury. And move left with his mix spare ball here. Oh, actually, sorry, that's a white dot, a white dot. And straight at the 3-6, no trouble in the conversion. But unfortunately, he's down 26 pins now to Sofie, who has a double up. And can she extend her lead here? If Sofie were to win this match, she would bowl her twin, Kaergaard Nielsen, in our next match. Yeah, that would be an interesting match. I'm sure they've pulled each other many times, but I'm sure not on TV and not under the TV lights and not under the pressure of the QubicaAMF Masters stepladder. And there's a good shot there. Another good shot. And how about a stone 8-pin for Sofie? She says, okay, well, thank you very much. Look at this nut shot. Pretty much a carbon copy shot of last time on this lane. Gets to the break point, turns through, dead flush. Stone 8. Oh, that's painful. Here's another look at it. Again, perfect shot, perfect move. There's just nothing you can do about that wrap. That is just one of the true bad breaks in bowling. You just have to make your spare and move on. And fortunately for Sofie, she will still have the 25-pin lead and does convert. No trouble there. QubicaAMF Strike Tour Series is a special event organized by Bowling Promotion for the French Federation and the French Olympic Sport Channel for the promotion of bowling in general and the French teams specifically. We want to thank QubicaAMF for signing on for a 3-year commitment to sponsor this Masters Series. And as we said, it's a 16-person stepladder, and we are in match 5 on our way to the title match. And here is Sofie on the left lane. She's been hammering the pocket. Ooh, high again on that lane. And unfortunately, once again, picks up on the dry mid lane on that left lane, and it hooks on her. With that nice stroke through the shot, she's got her arm across her body, similar to how Monica would throw it, and that goes high and leaves the 3, 6, 10 once again. The last time she left out on this lane, she chopped it. Let's see what she does here. And this time, no problem on the conversion. Yeah, that's a key spare there to keep her lead in the 20s. And now Caru needs to find a way somehow to get to the pocket. He needs to find a way to put a couple of strikes together here and put some pressure on Sofie. And that's right up the lane. Give it to him. Yes. Give him the mixer strike. And a crumbling bucket and a very late 7-pin. Let's watch this pin action here. And again, he got around the side of that one a little better. Now the ball turns up, mixer, taps the 7, and it goes out late, but he does get the strike. So now he has a chance to go out for 215. And Sofie pacing at 207, so this match certainly not over. But then he goes Brooklyn, but gets it. So an important strike, even though it was on the Brooklyn side, it gives him the double and keeps his opportunity to shoot 215 alive, which would force Sofie to double somewhere in the 9th and 10th frames. And now Sofie up here again, cruising to the 207 pace. And let's see what she does. She's been hammering the pocket on this right lane. She's been high on the left lane. Just go through the process, take your time, make your good shot. And she does again, looks good, comes up and blows the rack. Oh no, really? A swisher 7-10 for Sofie. Now, this match just got very interesting. And now look at this late turn, doesn't quite make the corner very hard, blows the 5, but the 5 gets stopped somehow on its way over to take out the 7, can't do it, leaves the open. This match just got very interesting. And now Sofie over for the 7-10 will have to take the 1. Oh, hits the back of the backstop and shoots the pin over to the left side, but it can't get it to pop out. So now Sofie looking at 194 pace, 204 possible, and once again Caru still with that 215 possible. So very, very interesting match right now. In fact, on paper, Caru has taken the 1-pin lead going into the 10th frame. Caru on the double and Sofie on the open. And let's see how we do here. She's on this drier lane, throws it way out to the right, gets it back to the pocket for the strike. Wow, that ball crossed quite a few boards. Let's watch this arc and angle of the shot. And here she goes. She's definitely further left with her feet and looking to the right. Now this ball crosses about the 2nd arrow, maybe even the 9 board, and then goes way out to the right, out to the 3rd or 4th board, comes screaming back for the strike. And what an exciting match this has turned into here in the 9th and 10th frame. Please stick around for Bruno Bidone's interview of the loser of this match after this video. And Sofie gets that one to the left and it hangs on in the oil and strikes for her to give her 2-0 something. She can shoot 204 with another strike, which would force Gaetan to get strike 9 spare to tie and a double to win. So Sofie giving herself a chance here after that open, that unfortunate 7-10 in the pocket on her good lane, comes back on her challenging lane and doubles in the 10th. And now looking at 204 with a strike here, which would force Caru to double to win. Got that out, very nice, gets it out, and now comes up for a light 10-pin, which will finish Sofie off at 203. So here's the situation. Gaetan, pacing at 195, needs the first strike to put him in the 2-0s. If he goes strike 9 spare, he wins with 204. Strike 8 spare, and we could have a tie. And here goes Caru on this right lane. Right up the lane. Pretty good shot. Oh, light in the pocket for the bucket. Doesn't make the corner. Once again, Caru cannot get the ball to turn through the pocket. He left a bucket earlier on this lane. And watch how this is a pretty good shot right up the third arrow, but of course right in the oil. So it goes straight down the lane and hydroplanes in the oil, doesn't make the turn. Bucket, and it will be Sofie Kaergaard Nielsen on to bowl her twin, Karen, coming up in our next match. And good run by Gaetan Caru. You have to compliment this gentleman on his guts with that arm injury, and he makes the bucket there. And I think he got a little tired in the second match, made the most of it, and had a chance to win right up into the 10th frame. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Bruce Hall. I'm your international commentator for these matches, and thanks again to QubicaAMF for their sponsorship of this Masters series. And now the clapping for Caru, and please stay tuned for the interview with Caru and Bruno after the match. And there is Gaetan's last shot, and another bucket on the left lane. Just can't get the ball to turn through that oil. So great match, and Sofie comes out ahead and will bowl her twin in the next match. And as we wrap up here, we'll see some shots by Sofie and by Gaetan. One thing about Sofie is watch her follow through as she pulls that arm right across her body in order to give the maximum power to the shot. Once again, Bruce Hall here, and stay tuned for the interview with Gaetan Caru.
Bon Gaëtan, ça a été une première expérience sur le Bowling Promotion Tour, première finale télé je pense de ta carrière. Ça a été un beau match, ça s'est joué vraiment à la fin, il fallait le strike pour gagner au minimum 9, on a fait les comptes, ça s'est joué sur la dernière boule, peut-être un peu de pression.
Ouais, un peu de pression. Sofie a mis de très belles boules, les 3 dernières boules sont magnifiques, celle d'avant le split. Enfin, je ne souhaitais même pas ça, mais même au pire des ennemis. Et ouais, la dernière boule peut-être un peu trop forcée pour aller chercher ce strike. Mais ouais, super content d'avoir participé. Une première finale télévisée. Il fait très chaud. C'est une ambiance particulière et une autre atmosphère. Ouais, merci beaucoup.
En tout cas, on va enchaîner sur les matchs, hein, Gaëtan. Toutes les chances sont là. Votre équipe est quand même une bonne équipe. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez des matchs en équipe? Quel est votre favori? Est-ce que vous pensez pouvoir gagner?
Bon, l'équipe World favorite, hein, elle a fait le voie, mais n'est atteignable, un petit peu de coup de bluff peut-être. Et non, ouais, l'équipe World favorite, et puis après peut-être aller les titiller sur la finale, pourquoi pas.
Ben, bonne chance Gaëtan, et à très vite.
Merci beaucoup, à très bientôt.